Something seismic is happening within the Mormon Church, and it's set to reach a crisis point by 2026 for generations. The image of clean-cut 19-year-old missionaries on street corners has been a global symbol of Mormonism's strength and unstoppable growth. But that image, the Church's primary brand to the world, is starting to fade. The Church is facing a missionary crisis, with a growing number of young members refusing to serve. This isn't just an internal problem, it's a crack in the very foundation of the Church's global image. The answers reveal deep fractures in this American faith. If you're ready to understand what this means for the future of Mormonism as place on the world stage, subscribe to Mormon Deep Dive right now. Welcome to Mormon Deep Dive, where we explore the history, beliefs, money, and power of the Mormon Church. Today, we're tackling a massive question. Why are young Mormons turning their backs on the traditional two-year mission? And how is it damaging the Church's carefully crafted global identity? This matters because the missionary program is the public face of Mormonism. As that face disappears from the world's streets, it changes how everyone from potential converts to lifelong members sees the Church. Using verified sources, we're going to unpack the numbers and reveal a twist that even the Church leaders might not see coming. So, let's start with the context. A mission has long been considered a rite of passage for young Mormon men, and increasingly for women too. It's seen as a sacred duty. For over a century, the Church has successfully dispatched millions of these young ambassadors worldwide, making them the most visible and recognizable feature of the faith. They leave behind family, education, and relationships for 2 years of strict, unpaid service. This missionary force is the engine of the Church's global growth and its most powerful marketing tool. It's how the faith went from a small American sect to a worldwide religion. The missionary program isn't just a tradition, it's the lifeblood of the institution's global image. What do you think is more challenging for today's youth, the strict rules of a mission or the pressure to leave their life behind? Let me know in the comments. That brings us to the evidence. The numbers are speaking volumes. While the Church doesn't release precise application rates, data analysts have pieced together a worrying trend. After a brief surge, when the mission age was lowered in 2012, the number of full-time missionaries has been steadily declining. Projections suggest that by 2026, the Church could see a shortfall of tens of thousands of missionaries. We're talking about a potential 30 to 40% drop. It's a silent exodus that directly translates to less visibility on the streets of Europe, Asia, and South America. This isn't just a random dip. It's a consistent downward trend that points to a systemic problem with its global outreach strategy. Now, here is the twist. You might think the primary reasons for this decline are a loss of faith, and while that's part of it, the bigger factors are surprisingly practical and personal. The first is mental health. Gen Z is the most open generation when it comes to discussing mental health struggles. The high-pressure, high-rejection environment of a mission, combined with strict rules and isolation, is a recipe for a mental health crisis. They are prioritizing their well-being over institutional expectations. The second factor is cost. A mission isn't free. Families are expected to pay around $500 a month. For many families, especially in Europe, that's a massive financial burden. Young people are asking themselves, is this the best use of my money and 2 years of my life? They're making a pragmatic choice. If the Church made missions free, do you think more young people would serve? Comment below. So what does this all mean for the future of the Mormon Church's global image? First, it's a branding disaster. For decades, the sight of missionaries in foreign cities has been the Church's best advertisement. It signaled vitality, growth, and a committed youth. As that presence shrinks, the Church becomes less visible, out of sight, out of mind. This decline makes the Church appear weaker and less dynamic, which could deter potential converts who are attracted to a vibrant, growing faith. Second, it creates a leadership pipeline crisis. Historically, serving a mission has been a key step toward future leadership roles. With fewer young men serving, the Church is facing a future with a depleted pool of committed leaders. This forces the Church into a corner. Will it double down on tradition? Or will it be forced to fundamentally change the missionary program that defines its global identity? The 2026 missionary crisis isn't just a symptom of a Church struggling to retain its youth, it's a sign of a global brand in jeopardy. Is Gen Z rejecting missions a sign of a failing generation or a failing institution? Share your view. This conversation is so important. And I really want to hear from you. Before you go, I need your thoughts on 3 questions in the comments. First, for believers, how do you reconcile the spiritual importance of a mission with these modern challenges? Second, for ex-Mormons, was the pressure to serve a mission part of your faith crisis? And for everyone, what do you predict the Mormon Church will look like in 20 years if these trends continue? If you want to continue uncovering hidden Mormon history and analyzing its future, subscribe to Mormon Deep Dive right now and turn on notifications. Join thousands of truth seekers who value evidence over tradition. Your support helps this channel grow and allows us to keep asking the tough questions. Thank you for questioning. Thank you for seeking truth.